Hey YouTube, James here. Hey, I got a little intro before I get to the main part of this video, but some of you may remember when I did this 1 inch long 223 mold. It was a 100 grain mold, and I milled the top of it down, and I made it into a 75 grain bullet mold. Well, that was a long drug out affair. It had a couple hours because I took almost a quarter of an inch off the top of this mold. And I did it with a belt sander, not having a milling machine or anything like that, but you can see how much of a difference in the bullets are. And anyway, then I started doing 300 blackout. Let me zoom in here. This is a Lee 312 155, and this is a Arsenal 145 grain. Cranky Cletus, he lent me his mold so I could try some of these out in my 300 blackout. Well, you can see how with the gas check on the Lee 155, how far down below the shoulder the base of the bullet goes. It's like close to 1/8 of an inch. I got it seated that deep just to, feed through my gun. And the 145, that's almost perfect for right at the shoulder, the top of the shoulder of the case. And with the 145, I have a lot more case capacity and can get the velocities up quite a bit higher, and still have pretty good accuracy. Now, I could have spent $100, got a 5 cavity mold somewhere thereabouts, and just got an Arsenal mold, but that would have been too easy. I prefer, get that piece of tape up there, these Lee 6 cavities. Put it there where you can see it. These 6 cavities, I just enjoy casting with these. So what I was wanting to do was make a 145 grain 6 cavity out of a 312 mold. So let me put, well, before I get to that, I recently messed around with some 80% lowers, with the jig, and using a router to mill out the 80% lower, and that worked really good. So that got me thinking, if I make a jig for one of these 6 cavity molds, I could have that bullet in a 6 cavity mold. So let me pause you and I'll show you the jig I made. Guess the pause isn't going to work. There we go. So anyway, this is what I made, so that I could use a router and an end mill and machine out the top of, all it is a circular saw base that I had an old saw that just wasn't working anymore, so I swiped the base off of it, put a piece of 1/2 inch aluminum on there, and a 2x4. Now I can mount that on my thingy here, the vise. Put the end mill in my router and just router off 80 thousandths to take off that gas check base area, which will give you the 145 grain bullet I want in the 6 cavity mold. So anyway, long drug out story just to show you that I made a jig that attaches to my vise to allow me to use a router so that I can basically mill it off with an end mill. And it works so easy with, like I say, with the 80% lowers and the router setup. I think this is going to work out. I still have to order the end mill. I need a 1/4 inch by 3 or 3.5 inch end mill to make this all work. But anyway, if there's anybody else out there that wants to take off a gas check area to make a flat base bullet, this is a simple setup for doing it. I just thought I'd share that in case somebody else out there is willing to do something like this like I would, but I'm crazy enough that, I'll give it a shot. So anyway, that's what I have for you. Thank you for watching.